Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to math class. Today is lesson 146. All right, boys and girls, please join me as we solve some problems on the board. Take a look at section A. All right, we have 23 plus 19. Which place value do we start with first? Yes, we start with the first, the ones place value. Let's go ahead and add 3 plus 9. 3 plus 9 is 12. I don't see a carrying box. Does that mean I cannot carry to the tens place? No, we can still carry to the tens place even though you do not see a carrying box. That means you need to pay very close attention when you're adding your numbers from now on. So 3 plus 9 is 12. I put my 2 in the ones place and I carry my 1 to the tens place right on top of the other number. Now I can add. I'm going to start with the number that I carried and add it to this number. What's 1 plus 2? 1 plus 2 is 3. What's 3 plus 1? 3 plus 1 is 4. So therefore, 23 plus 19 equals 42. All right, let's take a look at our next problem. This is a subtraction problem, so we're going to subtract. What is 4 minus 3? 4 minus 3 is 1. We'll move on to the tens place. What's 8 minus 4? 8 minus 4 equals 4. So therefore, 84 minus 43 equals 41. And let's take a look at our last problem over here. What is 0 plus 5? 0 plus 5 equals 5. And what's 7 plus 2? 7 plus 2 equals 9. So therefore, 70 plus 25 equals 95. All right, boys and girls, remember you can still carry to the tens place even though there's not a carrying box. All right, boys and girls, let's take a look at my cards over here. All right, how many halves make a whole? How many halves make a whole? 2 halves make a whole. 2 halves make a whole. All right, how many thirds make one whole? How many thirds do we need to make one whole circle? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. We need 3 thirds to make a whole. And how many fourths make a whole? How many fourths makes one whole? All right, let's count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 fourths make a whole. Once again, 2 halves make one whole. 3 thirds make a whole. And 4 fourths make one whole. All right, boys and girls, let's take a look at my board on section B. Take a look at our fraction. We know that this fraction, we read it 1/2. Here at the bottom number here, the bottom fraction is called a denominator. It shows the number of parts. The fewer parts you divide something into, the greater part it is. So right now, my denominator is a 2. See, 2 is a small number. So the smaller the number in the denominator, the bigger the part is. For example, if I were to draw a circle and I were to divide it into two parts, I will shade one part. So this is 1/2. My circle shows 1/2 of my circle is shaded, okay? Just like this card right here, 1/2 of the circle is shaded. Now let's take a look at the next fraction, 1/3. Which number, which part of the fraction is the denominator? The 3 is the denominator. It's the total parts. So I can go ahead and make a circle and divide it into 3. And I'm going to shade one part. So if I were to compare 1/2 and 1/3, which part is greater? 1/2 or 1/3? 1/2 is greater than 1/3. Take a look at my denominators. I have a 2 over here and a 3 over here. Notice that if we were counting in counting order, the 3 is larger than 2. But when we're comparing fractions, it's kind of like backwards. A fraction is part of a number. So the smaller the number in the denominator is, the greater the fraction is. So for example, I have 1/2 and 1/3. 1/2 is greater than 1/3. So 2 is greater than 3 in this case. 1/2 is greater than 1/3. If you look at my picture, half of this is shaded and only 1/3 of this part is shaded. So if you compare the shaded part, you can see that 1/2 is greater. Let's take a look at the last fraction, 1/4. I'm going to draw a circle and divide it into fourths. All right, so now I have 1/4. The denominator is 4. There's 4 total parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now let's compare 1/3 and 1/4. Here's my 1/3 and here's my 1/4. Which is greater? 1/3 is greater than 1/4. Take a look at the part that is shaded. Look at the amount that is shaded here and compare it to the amount that's shaded here. 1/3 is greater. Even though in counting order, 4 is greater than 3, but remember fraction is part of a number. It's actually less than 1. So the smaller the number is, the greater part. The greater it is. So if I were to order my fractions from greatest to least, I will have it 1/2. Let me do it right here. 1/2, 1/3, and 1/4. This is from greatest to least, and this falls in between. All right, boys and girls, thank you for participating in math class today. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.